Wheelix is here. She jumps in. We're going to activate our 3. Try to taunt her back into it. Osiris is here. Both their front lines here. Cubid uses his ultimate. We're going to go ahead and try to get some basics. Osiris uses his ultimate. Cthulhu ultimate also inbound. We pop a shell onto our teammates to try to perfect our squishies. We're going to go ahead and activate our 1. Get the taunt. The Morgan changes into the Humbats. We get ulted by Humbats. We're going to go ahead, taunt them, activate our 3. And we're able to clean up a double kill. And we get a deicide, a absolutely great team fight in favor of us. I think because we had the additional protections, we were able to provide a lot of support to our team. What a do, skibbity boo, it's your boy SeanyB Gaming, and today we're doing a skin showcase for the Demon Scourge Athena skin and support. If you are new to the channel, I upload every single day. I add some commentary to a game that I've already played with the intention of seeing what went right, what went wrong, and hopefully there's something that we can learn together. If there is something that we learn together, make sure you check out the channel and subscribe for more content. If you are a returning viewer, I think the skin looks absolutely fantastic. Although if you had to ask me the theme, Supernatural Hunter, I'm not exactly sure. I feel like Athena is kind of middle of the pack for supports. She can do things really well if you have follow-up from your team. So let's go ahead and jump into her kit. Athena's 1, Preemptive Strike. Athena powers up for a dash. While dashing, Athena will pass through minions, stop and hit the first enemy god she encounters, dealing damage and slowing all that she has hit. If she hits an enemy, Athena gains 1 stack of block to a maximum of 3 stacks, absorbing her next basic attack from any god that hits her. The slow amount is going to be 25% and the slow duration is going to be 2.25 seconds. Athena's 2, Confound. Athena releases a shockwave of power from her shield, taunting enemy gods and forcing them to fight or chase her. The taunt duration is going to be 1 second at level 1 and 2 seconds at level 5. Athena's 3, Shield Wall. Athena summons a group of Athenian warriors who deal damage upon arrival and again after 2 seconds for additional damage. Athena's ultimate, Defender of Olympus. Athena picks a single allied god anywhere in the world and launches herself up into the air, landing next to that god 3.6 seconds later. During that 3.6 seconds, the allied god gains 30% damage mitigation. Enemies near when Athena lands take damage. And finally, Athena's passive, Reach. After using an ability, Athena's next basic attack is a ranged attack, hitting all enemies it passes through and dealing an additional 15% of her magical power as damage. Reach's damage will trigger basic attack item effects, but not trigger ability ones. In terms of the leveling order, at level 1, we want to put a point into our 3. Level 2, put a point into our 1. Level 3, put a point into our 2. Then we want to put another point into our 3, put a point into our ultimate, max out our ultimate whenever we can, max out our 3. Then we have the option. We can either max out our 1 or max out our 2. I think either are pretty viable. If you max out your 1, you're going to be dealing more damage. If you max out your 2, you're going to have better CC, which might provide better peel for your teammates and better setup. We left the fountain with Guardian's Blessing, tier 1 boots, 4 health potions, and Hand of the Gods. We are going against a Wheelix support, so she is going to have a pretty aggressive early game. She's really going to be able to engage pretty well. I think anything is kind of viable in support. It really just depends on how you build them. Looks like they are winning wave advantage right now. So we're going to just go ahead and fall back once these archers go down. We're going to charge up our 1, dash in, apply 25% slow to the Jingwei, also get a stack block. The number 1 tip I have with Athena is you want to make sure you're using your basic attack after each ability. This can really increase your damage from not a lot to a little bit more than not a lot. The majority of our damage is coming from our 3, and we need the enemy to take the initial damage and then the secondary damage, which occurs 2 seconds later. So ideally, we would detonate or we would activate R3, taunt them into it, and then they would get hit by the detonation. We don't have a lot of mana right here, so we got to play it pretty carefully. Athena does also have an attack chain. It is single hit, and then a cleave that does a little bit more damage than the single hit. I think this skin looks fantastic though.
Enemy missing left.
It looks really clean, a lot of detail to it, and it all looks really well together. We're going to charge up our 1, dash in, get the hit, taunt the Jingwei. Cupid's able to land his 1. That's the beads from Jingwei. That's pretty big early on in the game. Cupid's a level 4, he's about to be level 5. So as soon as he hits level 5, he should be able to get Jingwei without having to worry about her beads. We have no potions. We also have enough money for boots, so it's a good time to back. We're going to be going into the cooldown boots. Unfortunately, we do not have our ultimate, or else we would ult back to lane to save a little bit of time and get some additional gold and XP.
Ultimate is ready.
On my way.
Hunbax makes the call to gank left lane. He's showing up.
Be careful left.
Looks like the enemy's kind of backed up in their lane. Mercury's here. It's a jump from Hunbats. He's pretty low on mana. We're going to try to taunt them away from Hunbats. We're going to activate our 3. We're going to fall back. Cupid is also engaged in the fight. We do have a shell. That's about it though. That is a Mercury ult and a Hunbats ult from the Morgan. Unfortunately, Cupid goes down. We're able to get out ourselves. Nual rotated in. Good rotation, but a terrible fight to rotate into. She's gonna go down.
Sorry, out of mana.
So I was in an Xbox party with the Hunbats and the Cupid. Remember Hunbats saying, "Camp if I did that when I had no mana." That was a terrible rotation. Since Cupid, we might be able to hold wave, but we're just going to go ahead and clear these. We're going to get one more wave, and then we're going to hit our purple buff. Dash through the wave, and then throw our basic attack through the wave. We're going to go ahead and head to our purple buff. The purple buff is going to give Cupid additional attack speed, and it's also going to reduce the protections of any enemy that gets too close to Cupid. It's not a huge protection reduction, but it is a little effective in the early game. We're going to go ahead and pick up the Cupid hearts. This is going to heal us, and it's also going to provide mana to the Cupid. Mercury's a little deep in our jungle. We're going to rotate in, see if we can help out. We dash in. We taunt him, but he's able to steal our red buff. That's a beads from the Mercury. The Morgan rotates in, provides a little bit of cover. We set up a ward where there's already a ward, but that's alright. We're going to go ahead and ward these 2 corners. We're going to go ahead and ult in on the Cupid. We tell him to dash in. Get some good damage. That's a beads. We're going to dash in, hit her with a basic. And unfortunately, she's able to get away.
Be careful in the jungle. Be careful in the jungle.
We're going to rotate up to the Hunbats, try to help him out.
On my way.
Our appearance with Cupid is enough to get the Mercury to peel back. We're going to dash in, apply a slow, hit her with a basic attack, hit her with a normal basic attack, taunt her into our 3, but she's able to use her beads. So the fact that we're pulling the enemy beads so often is very helpful for the Cupid and also for the Hunbats, both of which have ultimates where beads can get them out. We're just going to make our way up mid. Our next basic attack is going to be a ranged basic attack. So they have a Relic support. We need to make sure that we don't try to over-target her, because she does have protections and she's building into protections. We really need to be focusing the Morgan and the Mercury whenever he shows up in middle lane.
Ultimate is down.
Look at me.
Ultimate is down.
We're gonna get the slow onto the Awelix. The Morgan's nearby. We're gonna activate R3. Doesn't really connect with anyone. The Relic is about half health. She jumps in. We're going to taunt her away from the new wall. We're going to activate R3. She uses her ultimate on me. Nuwa uses her ultimate. There's two Relixes here. That's super annoying. We're going to go ahead and pop a shell. Try to body block for the Nuwa. The Morgan's able to get the pick. We're going to go ahead and taunt her in. Activate R3. Trying to peel back. Provide a little bit of protection for the Hun Bats. And it looks like the minions were able to get the Hun Bats, which is super unfortunate. Awelix hops in on us. We're going to activate our shield, try to taunt her back, hit her with the basic attack, but she has protection, so we're not dealing great damage to her. We deal okay damage to characters that do not have protections, and we deal not great damage to characters that do have protections. So the Awelix and Osiris are not good targets for us. We're going to go ahead and back because we're pretty low on health and mana. We're going to pick up 2 health pots and two wards.
Enemy missing middle.
We're just going to make our way back to mid. Nuwa jumps in. We're going to taunt her away. Right now, I'd say we're letting the enemy mid. We try to ult to Cthulhu, and Nuwa walks right in front of us. So we ult two inches in front of us. And that's pretty funny. So I would say that we're letting the Morgan and Awelix kind of dictate the pace of middle lane. We're letting them engage instead of over us engaging. We're going to go ahead and taunt the Awelix. Activate R3. Awelix is able to get some good damage. We're going to activate R1, let it charge up, and then we're going to dash out. We're playing to where we're reacting to however Awelix engages instead of us engaging on the Morgan. So I think that's something that we could definitely try to improve in future games. We're going to dash out. Our next basic attack is a enhanced one that's going to be ranged. Awelix is able to get the pick onto Cthulhu. There's 3 people over in right, so I think a attack in left is warranted. We're going to set up a ward on right, set up a ward on left, and then we're going to rotate left. So they had 3 people on right. This is a 2v3 once we get there.
Enemy missing right.
That's her dash. She uses her ultimate. And unfortunately, there's the Mercury. You might be able to get a pick onto him.
Enemy ultimate down.
We try to keep Jing Wei out of the fight. Miss all of her stuff. Hun Bats is able to get the pick onto the Mercury.
Nicely done.
Cancel that.
We're going to go ahead and clear this way with Cupid. Awelix is rotating in. So after going into the cooldown boots, we went into Guantlent of Thebes. We'll get to those stats in just a moment. We're going to go ahead and start working on our purple buff, which is not there. (2v2) over in dual lane. We're going to go ahead and taunt the Awelix away. We're going to activate our 3. We get pulled by the Awelix. We try to pop a shell, and unfortunately the shell does not go off and we get picked. If we would have popped our shell, we would have survived that. Super shame we did not get that off. Oh, goodbye Jing Wei. Guantlent of Thebes is going to provide us 300 health and 15 HP 5. It has a passive that if we get an assist on a minion or an assist on an enemy guide, we're either going to get 1 stack or 5 stack. Each stack is going to provide us 1 magical and 1 physical protection. Once this item hits 50 stacks, it's going to evolve. It's going to then provide allies within 70 units an additional 10 physical and 10 magical protections. Plus the 50 stats are then going to take the original item stats. Oh, we got to dash in here. New able to get a pick. We're going to activate our 2. Unfortunately, we don't connect on anyone. We pop our shell. We're going to try to focus this Mercury. Fortunately, Mercury's able to get the pick. Huntats is able to get the pick. Pretty good team fight for us. We lost 1, but I think we got 2. Maybe even 3 right there. Guantlent of Thebes, once it's fully evolved, the new stats on the item are going to be 300 health, 50 magical power, and 15, not magical power, I apologize. It's going to be 50 magical protections, 50 physical protections, and 15 HP 5. We're going to kind of hold lane, maybe poke this Jingwei a little bit, but she has Devo gauntlets, so she is going to be able to heal up pretty much any damage we deal to her. We're going to start rotating in mid and taking a look at the enemy team composition. They have 4 physical characters. So instead of going into the Relic Dagger, which we are about to complete, we should be going into Sovereignty. We'll get to both items in just a moment.
Be careful, middle.
We're going to go ahead and just clean up the middle lane.
Some warding sigils.
Their Mercury's here. We're going to taunt him away. We're going to activate our 3. And he goes bye-bye. We're going to reset up our ward. Looks like someone else is warding in the exact same spot I am, so we should probably pick a new spot.
Ultimate is ready.
We're going to go ahead and use our ultimate. Ult over to the Cthulhu. I don't think our ultimate did any damage to the Osiris right there. That was a pretty bad ult from us. Cthulhu didn't need the damage mitigation, and we can't really do anything to this Osiris. We're going to head back mid, see if there's anything we can do there.
On my way.
That is the Hunbat's ultimate, and it looks like our team is focusing the Awilix instead of focusing the Morgan. We're going to taunt her. She uses her B's Aegis combination, and unfortunately, they're able to get out. Nual uses her ultimate and is able to clean up the Awilix.
I'm going for jungle.
We're going to peek the enemy red buff. It is not there, so we're going to head back to lane.
Retreat.
Nual's pushing. We're going to fall back and hit the red buff. We could... I was going to say maybe we could get gold right here, but Mercury's kind of nearby. They also have vision on it. We're going to rotate left, see if we can catch this Jingwei out of position. Maybe get her beads or something. We got our beads. She's her ultimate. So that should help keep it out a decent amount. Mercury's rotating in. We're going to pop our shell.
Be careful left.
I don't think we're going to be able to do too much here. We're going to dash away. Activate our 3. Duke out the Mercury ultimate. Taunt him towards us. He has Wind Demon, so he's able to just stick to us. We're wiggling. We're wiggling pretty well. He's able to dash on us and get the pick. If only we could have dodged a little bit more. Nual's rotating in. Misses the combo onto the Jingwei. It looks like she's just going to clean up the wave. So we went into Relic Dagger after Guantlent of Thebes. Relic Dagger is going to provide us 300 health, 10% cooldown, and 7% movement speed. Its passive is it's going to take off 40 seconds from our relics. So we're going to be able to use our relics more often. Oh no, Nual, run! She turns around and gets picked. So taking a look at the Awilix's build, she went into the Reinforced Greaves, the Sledge, and Breastplate of Valor. So she's building kind of like a warrior, and what this means to me is that if we can make it to late game, we're going to be a much more effective support. We're going to go ahead and ult in. Looks like the Helix is able to wiggle out. Jingwei is nearby as well. Jingwei used their ultimate. Bad time for us to dash. We're going to pop our sprint, which was our second relic. We were going to kind of peel back, but then we saw Cupid use his ultimate, so we're going to engage right here, which is a terrible engagement for us. Mercury rotates in. We don't have any relics. We need to get out. Mercury throws us, so we lose our charge on our one.
Look at me.
We're trying to provide a little bit of peel to this Hun Bats. Unfortunately, we cannot. We're going to try to run for it. We get tossed. We're going down. So, we lost that fight because we decided to take the engagement between the tier 1 and tier 2 tower. I feel like me and Hun Bats were going to pull back, but then we saw Cupid use his ultimate, so we kind of all-ended it. The reason I think we're going to be a better support late game than the Helix is we are providing additional protections to our team. So we are going to be a walking buff for our team, where Helix is just going to be able to engage a little bit more. After going into Relic Dagger, we're going to be going into Sovereignty. Sovereignty is going to provide us 250 health and 45 physical protections. It has a passive that is going to increase the physical protections of allies within 70 units by 15. And it's also going to provide 35 HP 5, which is the amount of health you recover every 5 seconds. So once we have Sovereignty complete, any ally that stands near us is going to gain an additional 25 protections physical from the Gauntlet of Thebes and from Sovereignty. They're also going to regenerate 7 health per second. So we're not worried about late game. We'll get there. We're going to be able to do more for our team than the Helix. Although right now, she is a lot of trouble for our team. Hun Bats ultimate. Once again, our target selection is a Helix instead of the Morgan. We're going to go ahead and ult in on the Hun Bats. We're going to dash in on the Morgan. We miss. We're going to taunt her. And Nuwa is able to get a double kill.
Gank left lane.
We're going to go ahead and see if we can get a pick onto this Jingwei. If we can't find her, we're going to go ahead and work on Gold Fury.
Your right tower is under attack. Well,
Nope, guess not. We should have gone for Gold Fury.
On my way.
Now it looks like we're going for Gold Fury. Okay, so we're still going for it. There are 3 types of Gold Furies. This is just the normal Gold Fury. There is the Primal Gold Fury, which whenever you kill it, the enemy or your team is going to gain an additional 5% damage to all jungle camps. Then there is the Oni Fury, which is going to give you some gold and give you a enhanced minion wave in each lane. We're going to go ahead and take the enemy red buff. We'll go ahead and pick that up ourselves. Helix is nearby. We do have some good vision on the left side of the jungle. I feel like a majority of these fights have been on the left side. We kind of just left solo to fight each other. We just got our Sovereignty online, so now we are even better of a walking buff than we were before.
enemy ultimate is
They won't be able to find me.
Since a Helix is over and left, we're going to kind of rotate that way.
Surround.
Nuwa is just short of that red buff.
Fight.
We're going to go ahead and ult in onto the Hun Bat since he's being attacked. Mercury's here. He uses his ultimate to get away. We're going to dash in. We're going to taunt him. Nuwal's able to get the pick. We're going to go ahead and activate our 3. We're going to stick to this Hun Bats as he chases down the Morgan. That is definitely the best target for us right now. Osiris is tanky. We don't really want to deal with him unless he's the only target. We apply 25% slow. We're going to taunt him back into our 3. So he takes the initial damage and the bonus damage. We're going to pop a shell to avoid some of that damage from the Relics on one of our squishy characters. We're going to keep fighting into it. Newell's able to get a double stun. We're going to use our 1, get the 25% slow. We're going to activate our 3, land our basic attack. We're going to try to peel for this Newell. We're going to taunt her, and we're going to stand between the Jingwei and the Newell. Jingwei uses her ultimate. We're able to get 2 for none so far. And we have many people on the enemy team very weak.
Be right back.
We potentially could have gotten a deicide right there.
Let's see a werewolf claw.
That was a really good fight for us. Real change of pace into this game. I feel like they had us on the defensive, and then we kind of won that team fight. Now's our chance to go on the offensive. In terms of the build, we definitely should have gone Sovereignty before Relic Dagger, but I still like both items on Athena. Getting that additional movement speed and the 10% cooldown from Relic Dagger is very helpful. Able to get some good damage onto the Morgan. Mercury's here, so we're going to fall back.
Right here.
We missed our taunt. We think they're going left, so we're going to rotate in ourselves. We're going to go ahead and use our ultimate to get onto the Cupid. Cupid doesn't even need it. We're going to dash through the mini wave and then rotate to the team fight. Newell uses her ultimate and say I'll get the pick onto the Mercury. We're going to go ahead and invade this purple buff. Cupid's already level 20, but we could use the leveling. So right now, if you look at our passive, we have 2 of 3 circles lit. That means that we have 2 block stacks ready to go, which means the next 2 basic attacks that hit us are going to be blocked. Then whenever we use an ability, we get a icon for our spear. That means that our next basic attack is going to be ranged. Relix is able to time it perfectly to where she does not get taunted. We're going to go ahead and fall back. I don't think we're going to have a successful push onto this tower, so we're just going to play it safe and get out of there.
Be careful, middle. Be careful, middle. Be careful in the jungle.
The Morgan's nearby. Osiris is also nearby.
Be right back. Cancel that. We need wards.
Not much point in us trying to take on our Relics by ourselves. So we're just going to sit back.
Gank right lane.
Mercury's kind of by his lonesome, so we're going to head over here.
Ultimate is ready.
Ultimate is ready.
Can't find Mercury, so we're just going to go ahead and clear these minions. Looks like Cthulhu's getting the next wave. Relix is here.
On my way.
She jumps in. We're going to activate our 3. Try to taunt her back into it. Osiris is here. Both their front lines here. Cupid uses his ultimate. We're going to go ahead and try to get some basics. Osiris uses his ultimate. Cthulhu ultimate also inbound. We pop a shell onto our teammates to try to perfect our squishies. We're going to go ahead and activate our 1. Get the taunt. The Morgan changes into the Humbats. We get ulted by Humbats. We're going to go ahead and taunt them. Activate our 3. And we're able to clean up a double kill. And we get a deicide. A absolutely great team fight in favor of us. I think because we had the additional protections, we were able to provide a lot of support to our team. We're going to go ahead and attack Fire Giant and the enemy team surrenders. Well, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. That really helps these videos out. If you feel like you learned anything at all, check out the channel and subscribe for more content. These stats for this game will be posted in just a moment. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you have a great day. I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.